Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, friends, I must confess that the first time my office received the request that, there's a request for you to consider whether you would speak at the World Quantum Conference. I said, look, are you sure about this? Because, a diplomat who doesn't know Q of quantum going and speaking at the quantum conference, I said, no, sir, we are very sure about it. So here I am. It's very unusual. I was remarking backstage. It's very unusual for a diplomat or for an ambassador to be speaking at a gathering which is full of such scientific and industrial brilliance about the subject, about which, as I said, I know very little to nothing. I have no pretensions about this, but I do want to say that when it comes to this space, the scientific community in India, the industrial community in India, is very deliberate about it and how they look at the world of quantum and what it means for India as a country. As we heard various speakers, it's no longer a distant concept as perhaps it used to be. Around the world, across research labs, including in India, I would say, it's moving across in the space of communications, sensing, security, and as the CEO of IonQ just said, to the field of computing. I speak today on behalf of India as a large developing country that joined this race late. So we are perhaps where a latecomer would be in a race. But as I said, we come with clarity, humility, but also with a degree of ambition. And that ambition is to move step by step and make wise use of our limited resources, build it with our young talent and with trusted international partners like the United States. For India, quantum is a part of a broader effort to use science and technology for our larger goal and objective of inclusive growth. It sits alongside our work on secure digital public infrastructure and emerging technologies. We aim to support sectors where citizens and industry will feel real benefits. Health, finance, logistics, agriculture, national security are some of the areas which would be of focus. And this we do while maintaining openness to collaboration, like I said, with countries like United States, and building standards that help everyone adopt those tools safely. India's young students, researchers, and entrepreneurs, many of them here in the United States, are eager to contribute. Our job is to give them the tools, the mentors, and the pathways to succeed. So in 2023, the Government of India improved what we call as the National Quantum Mission. It's an 8-year program to seed, scale, and connect work across 4 pillars of quantum: quantum communications, quantum computing, sensing, meteorology, and materials and devices. The mission focuses on real-world outcomes, building useful prototype processors over time, extending secure quantum links across cities, and developing precise clocks and sensors that can help grids, hospitals, and transportation systems. The implementation of the National Quantum Mission of India follows very clearly defined phases. Early efforts emphasize the basics, that is the labs, the test beds, the components, the skills. The mid-course efforts take us to intermediate-scale devices, city-scale secure links, and the longer-term efforts take us to deepening manufacturing and supply chains so that research can flow into products, but also into services. And we will measure this progress by practical markets, pilot deployments that work reliably, trained engineers who can maintain them, and local suppliers who can deliver quality parts on schedule. But beyond computing, National Quantum Mission also supports satellite-assisted and fiber-based communications, the creation of small quantum networks, and high-sensitivity instruments that can aid navigation, imaging, and environmental monitoring. The common thread is practicality, solutions that can be tested in the field, learned from, and improved upon. Last September, the National Quantum Mission launched 4 thematic hubs, bringing universities, startups, and the government labs together under one roof. These 4 were: 1 on quantum computing, second one on quantum communications, third one on quantum sensing and meteorology, and the fourth one on quantum materials and devices. Across the various spectrum of quantum, there are currently 5 projects running in addition to these 4. One aims at photonics, where the target is about 48 qubits. The second focuses on superconducting, which is with the target of about 100 qubits in 3 years' time. There is one on neutral cold atoms, and there's a one on what they call trapped ions, and the last one on the spin stroke semiconducting qubits. These are 5 range systems on the spectrum besides the 4 missions that we launch. And these hubs are designed basically to drive technology development, nurture the talent, and strengthen the partnership with the industry. In this effort of the government, India's startup community is also leading it very strongly. Companies are building quantum-secure communication systems and tools that help organizations prepare for a quantum-safe future. And we heard about that from many of the previous speakers. Several pilots, and must say in this context, have moved from lab benches to operational settings, providing valuable feedback for the next round of product, systems, and services. And these efforts show very careful engineering, even at small scale, can deliver dependable improvements for users. We are also working very hard towards the quantum-safe ecosystem. As global standards for post-quantum cryptography take shape, our institutions are preparing roadmaps for migration and running pilots in critical sectors so that upgrades can be smooth and affordable. This is practical work, taking inventory, planning transitions, testing for performance and interoperability, so that when the time comes, our banks, telecom networks, public services can move with confidence to its adoption. Insofar as our bilateral partnership with the United States in this space is concerned, this is an area where both countries have very strong complementary interest. Under the initiative of Critical and Emerging Technologies called ICET, which was recently rechristened as Initiative Trust, our governments have highlighted cooperation in quantum information science and technology. The US-India Quantum Coordination Mechanism has enabled regular exchanges among researchers, industries, and government agencies. Our science and technology funding channels are supporting joint projects that connect labs with real use cases. And I'm sure the outcomes of the proceedings of the conference such as these will give us more avenues to discuss and cooperate on. The logic for us is very clear. India brings scale, cost-aware engineering, and a youthful talent base. The US, of course, brings deep and extensive research experience, and as we saw just in this morning's sessions, phenomenal advanced industrial capacity. Together, we can encourage responsible standards, support secure and trusted supply chains, and expand opportunities for students and startups. Our companies are engaging each other in components, control system, and applications in this space, and our universities are already deepening faculty and student exchanging and co-advising research. We'll continue to welcome collaborations under this framework, not just between the two governments, the respective labs, but also a deeper industry-to-industry linkages. It's important that we align training and testing practices so that skills and products developed in one country could be understood, trusted, used, and deployed in the other. Ladies and gentlemen, as we step into this era, India's approach will remain steady and straightforward. We will pick problems that matter, invest in people, keep value for the society as one of the main design principles for this, and measure progress by what improves the citizens' lives and helps businesses compete. We'll of course learn from partners, particularly and especially from partners like the United States. We will also share what we build, keep our eyes very clearly, sharply focused on affordability, reliability, and security. We are acutely conscious of the challenges. Scaling devices and correcting errors is very hard. Building supply chains is perhaps harder and takes more time. Training enough engineers naturally requires patience over a period of years, but India has overcome similar challenges before, and the same spirit will guide us in the quantum space. We'll proceed step by step, make room for new learners, and treat each lesson as a pilot. Let me end on a note of optimism. India may be a latecomer, but we are not standing still. With the National Quantum Mission, the thematic hubs, our universities and startup, and close cooperation with friends and partners like the United States, we are laying the foundations for steady and credible progress. We want the benefits of quantum technology, more secure communications, to really reach to all sections of our society, to reach ordinary citizens, not just a few. This would be our measure of success. I thank you very much.